Dr. Wanda Chimonyo is an academic, community leader, and mentor based in Queensland, Australia. He is passionate about leadership, mentorship, and helping communities grow and thrive. He holds a PhD in chemical engineering from the University of Queensland and is also the president and co-founder of the Zimbabwe Queensland Community Council.
I got support from people that were playing the mentor's role without recognizing that these are actually people who are mentoring me.
Okay.
And it's only until recently when you actually have the language to understand this is mentorship.
That's mentorship.
We talk about his journey, his passion for mentorship, and his vision for creating positive change through leadership and community impact.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Raja Impact Stories, a platform where we capture testimonials from real people, sharing real stories, and highlighting a real impact within our community. Today I'm joined by Dr. Wanda Chimonyo, a chemical engineer doctorate holder, a Daraja mentor, and one of the directors here at Daraja Impact Hub. Also, I have to emphasize that Doc is a community leader for us Zimbabweans here in Queensland. He's our former president of the ZQCC, Zimbabwe Queensland Community Council. Dr. Wanda, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Such a privilege, such an honor. Looking forward to it. Yeah.
Great. I think we've got a great conversation ahead of us.
Yeah.
Doctor, I think a good starting point would be for you to paint a bit of a picture of who you are, where were you born, and why are we sitting here in Brisbane calling you Dr. Wanda Chimonyo? Are you, maybe paint a picture for us. Obviously, you're not a medical doctor. I've already said you're a doctorate holder,
Yeah.
but we want to understand that it could inspire someone out there listening to your story and your journey.
Yeah. Thank you for that. It's a long journey. Born and bred in Yanga, which is like in the Eastern Highlands of Zimbabwe. That's where I did my early education, my primary and my high school. My high school was really at Yanga High School, Maris Brothers, which is a school that's in Yanga there.
Prestigious school, that.
It's a top school in terms of academic performance.
100%.
And so that's why I did my early education before going for my undergrad studies in Bulawayo, which is like the second largest city in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And where I did my chemical engineering degree as my first degree. After that, I went to study my Masters of Science in chemical engineering at the University of Cape Town. And then when I was done with that, I got an opportunity to come to Australia to start for my PhD in chemical engineering. That's basically like the career journey, but there's a lot of stories in between.
Yeah.
A lot of highlights in terms of the transitions.
Yeah.
But I started off with the first degree in Zimbabwe, and then South Africa for my master's, and then PhD at UK.
At UQ here in Australia. Doc, so I think for me, where I want to go there before we even, come to Australia and all that, were there any mentors along the way? Did you engage in any mentorship? And also, how did you navigate? We'll start with, I know you said transitions, side stories, but we want to know, because there are people out there who wonder, when you come from Zimbabwe, National University of Science and Technology, you find yourself in Cape Town, and then that's a different environment. You transition into Australia. Was there a need for a mentor? Was there a mentor along the line, along the journey that you engaged, or did you just, doba navigate?
I think, to be honest, to respond, in my response to that question, I would say that I got support from people that were playing the mentor's role without recognizing that these are actually people who are mentoring me.
Okay.
And it's only until recently when you actually have the language to understand this is mentorship.
That's mentorship, yeah.
But I would say that to be able to navigate the journey obviously there was support from people who were playing a mentor's role
Yeah.
to get me where I am.
Right.
So I might not have names at a particular phase of my journey,
Yeah.
but I know that definitely there was
guidance.
Yeah, there was guidance.
Yeah. No, and that's a powerful point. Coming to the topic of the day, ours is a structured mentorship program.
Yeah.
Mentorship happens in different forms. Sometimes it's unstructured. To your point,
Yeah.
you probably didn't even know that was mentorship. You're getting guidance from someone who had walked that path before. But what we are trying to do here at the Raja Impact Hub is to structure that process. And obviously ours is a culturally attuned mentorship program, meaning we are tapping into the African talent pool for people who've walked that path, people with the experience, like Doc here, to give back to the youth through mentorship.
Yeah.
So that's why we exist at the Raja. But we understand that mentorship takes various forms, including unstructured in this case.
Yeah.
But Doc, coming to you holding a doctorate, I think there's a burning question that I have. What I've been seeing online, and people saying, "Oh yeah, these doctorates, particularly in some African countries, people are buying them, right, for the status." Some people are pushing back to say you don't need to study all the way to the peak to be called a doctor or to hold a doctorate. Is there still need for a doctorate in this 21st century? Do you think that we still need to encourage many people to be researchers, to be doctorate holders, to be PhD students? Because why I ask this, there's this notion of experience is more than what we emphasize, the educational qualifications and stuff like that. Can you walk us through your thought process around that sort of mythical thing that's out there, whether it's worth it having researchers, people holding doctorates, or people should just focus on gaining as much experience as possible in their fields of expertise?
Well, I think it works differently for everyone. Everyone's journey is different. But speaking based on my experience, I would say that a PhD qualification is more than a piece of paper. It's a life training opportunity. You are trained with skills that you need in life outside even academic. For example, I can think of critical thinking skills.
Right.
Those are applicable anywhere you find yourself.
Yeah.
In all your areas of, or all your spheres of influence.
Yes.
You need critical thinking skills.
Absolutely.
I normally say to people that in my field, our learned friends, that we are scientists.
Yeah.
We can do anything.
Yes, that's possible.
So if there are people that sort of push back on the idea of getting more PhD graduates, it's really a bit of misplaced understanding of what it is about.
Yes.
It's not a walk in the park, it's a life training
Right.
journey that someone embarks on.
Right.
And it's not for everyone.
Of course. If it was for everyone, we'll all be holding the doctorate. No. Look, I totally understand. But I'm just being devil's advocate. Obviously, there are students out there, maybe some of our mentees wondering, should I pursue a PhD? What are the advantages? And you just highlighted the critical skills that you gain from this and the lifelong training that you get from this.
Yes. I could even add a little more because it's a very broad question in terms of what we can cover about the advantages of doing a PhD. Another thing is really associated with life skills, as I said, which is really resilience.
Okay.
You need resilience in this world that's sort of chaotic, a world that is noisy, and with so many challenges. And PhD gets you through that training to build your
How does it do that, Doctor?
It's hard work. Like you need to exercise strong work ethic. You've encountered so many challenges. You need to dig deeper and then be able to come up with new knowledge, which sometimes is often pushed back, and you need to justify.
It's critiqued by peers as well.
Well. So it's not easy as people might think. And you build some resilience as you do that.
Which is a critical skill, is it? No, thank you for that. I totally have so much respect for PhD doctors and researchers are absolutely needed in this world that we are living in. And Doc, you said something that's profound. You said we are scientists, we can do anything. And you are a man of many talents. I think I'm venturing into maybe a space of your community leadership skills. Is there leverage that's coming from your PhD and you're a scientist, we can do everything? Because we're going to talk about Doc, who was our, like I said in our opening, the president of the Zimbabwe Queensland Community Council here in Brisbane, in Queensland. And he just moved aside. I had the pleasure of attending the AGM, one as a Zimbabwean in Queensland, and number two is a strategic partner to ZQCC with Daraja. I witnessed that, and Doc said something powerful in that AGM. He said, I'm not stepping down, I'm stepping aside, which means he is still part of the community, he still wants to give back to the community. That leadership is not going anywhere, it's still there. The support is also. So I just want you to talk to us, Doc, about the things that you did at ZQCC. What makes you want to get involved? Why I say this, Doc, is because some people might not know, when we started the Daraja Impact Hub, Dr. Wanda is one of the very first people that I engaged with when Daraja was on a paper. It was Dr. Wanda and my mentor, Tendai Mkwananzi. Those two people were there when Daraja was on a paper. Before anything was, no infrastructure, nothing. And I went for lunch with Doc, and the first thing he said, yes, I'm keen to support this. The rest will shape up, but this is something that I would put my weight behind. And to his words, he's a man of many talents, they can do anything. He really helped us shape Daraja to be where it is.
Remind me again, if my memory serves me right, that I was the first one to sign up onto the program. You
were the first mentor to sign up on the program. Absolutely. You were so keen to be a part of it, and you could see the benefits of what we are doing here before anyone else believed in us. So for that, I want to take this opportunity on camera, on record, to say thank you, for believing in us before. We are still building, we are still in our growth phase, and piloting phase even, and you are still here. You're still sitting here, supporting with anything that we throw your way. You're there, including, again, let's go back to the question, your community leadership skills, your stint at ZQCC, and how you feel about what just happened. Obviously, you gave the baton, passed the baton to the next president, President Freddie Mashati.
Okay, I will probably take you a little bit back to where you started with the question about being a scientist and being able to do anything. Recently, a friend of mine that I went to college with, that I went to uni with during my first degree, reached out to me and said that you are a man of many talents and you're still doing it even today. Over there in Australia. Because he said, I remember when we were at the uni, when you go to this faculty, you'd see, if you're interested in playing rugby, see Wanda Chimonyo.
Is there?
And then if you go to this building, if you're interested in joining the Christian Union, see Wanda Chimonyo.
Is there?
If you're interested in student politics, SRC, Student Representative Council, see Wanda Chimonyo.
How are you doing it? That's my question there. Because many people, why I'm asking you this way is very important to me, especially for...
And that was before I was a scientist.
That's before it's always been there. It's always been there. But I want to give a follow-up question to where we are today. The pushback we get from many people who are on the fence, people who are not signing up as mentors and stuff like, it's time. I don't know how to balance this with my 9 to 5, with my children, with my my life, my social life, all this stuff. You still have those things. I catch up with you out there. I see you, if there's a football thing, we go. If there's anything out there, even other community events, we are there together. And I see you. You're still a researcher and a scientist. You still have your 9 to 5. You still have your children. Sam is even here with us, with playing with Zua out there. But I want to understand. You said go to student, Wanda Chimonyo is there, go to rugby. How do you do it? So it's been consistent all your life then. Are there any lessons you can share with people on how to balance your life and your time?
Well, I think the fundamental thing there should be really your work ethic, your self-determination, and perseverance. And I think those values were really shaped by my upbringing. I remember as a young boy, back in Zimbabwe and younger where I was raised, a typical day for me would be waking up early in the morning, in the fields before going to school. A school that would be like 4 to 5 kilometers away.
Right.
And then you embark on that journey, whether it's raining, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, and on some days even barefooted.
There's no excuse of not going.
Yeah. And so I developed this very strong work ethic, and I'm never sort of a person that is satisfied with doing less. So where I can contribute, and I have the capacity, I have no hesitation to put my hand up, to show up. And that's really what has been the driving force for me, that if I have the capacity, if I have the availability, I should not even think twice.
Wow.
To contribute.
Yes.
And
so is it, as long as it resonates with you, whatever is happening, you put your hand up and say,
as long as it resonates with me in terms of even my values, as long as I feel like it's something that is meaningful, something that lights up my internal world, I have no hesitation, and I just put my hand up.
Yeah, that's a great skill. That's the great skill.